You know how sometimes one sentence can change everything? Well, that's exactly what happened to Howard Cosell, a man who spent his entire career saying the things no one else had the guts to say. He stood by Muhammad Ali when the world called him a traitor. He went after racism and hypocrisy live on air, and he survived every bit of backlash. But then, one Monday night in 1983, six little words cut his career off at the knees. Cosell's story started far from the spotlight. Born Howard William Cohen in 1918, he grew up in Brooklyn. The skinny, book smart kid who didn't fight with fists, he fought with words. While other kids were scrapping on the playground, Cosell was quoting Shakespeare and Keats. He was sharp, he was cocky, and you either admired him or hated him. After earning a law degree, serving in the Army, and marrying his lifelong partner, Emmy, he built a thriving law practice in New York City. He even represented Willie Mays, but here's the thing, he hated it. Courtrooms felt too small. He wanted something bigger, louder. He wanted the world to hear him. So in 1953, he took an unpaid gig hosting a scrappy little radio show where kids interviewed major league players. 3 years, zero paycheck. But Cosell didn't care. He was learning how to control a microphone, how to command attention. Then one day, Yankees outfielder Hank Bauer casually ripped his manager during an interview, and the story exploded into headlines. That's when it hit Cosell. The truth, when captured in real time, could shake entire institutions, and he decided that was going to be his weapon. From there, he built a reputation as a broadcaster who didn't just report box scores. He challenged athletes, grilled coaches, and cut through the fluff with the precision of a lawyer. But his career truly exploded the moment he crossed paths with Muhammad Ali. Picture the mid 1960s. America is already boiling over with civil rights protests and the war in Vietnam. Then this young boxer, still known as Cassius Clay, beats Sonny Liston and announces he's now Muhammad Ali. The backlash was instant. Newspapers refused to use his new name. White America flat out rejected it, but not Cosell. On national TV in front of millions, he said it. Muhammad Ali, clear, firm, and without hesitation. That choice cost him dearly. Letters poured in, advertisers threatened to pull out, and people called him un-American. But Cosell knew what it felt like to be an outsider, to be mocked for your name, your nose, your background. He wasn't just saying Ali's name because it was politically correct. He was saying it because he understood what it meant. That bond between the two grew into one of the most unique partnerships in sports. On camera, Ali would tease Cosell about his toupee, call him names, joke about knocking him out, and Cosell fired back with deadpan sarcasm. It was funny, it was sharp, but underneath it all was mutual respect. And when Ali refused to fight in Vietnam and was banned from boxing, Cosell was one of the only broadcasters who stood by him, giving him airtime when everyone else shut the door. By the 1970s, Cosell was bigger than ever. When Monday Night Football launched, ABC threw him into the booth with Frank Gifford and Don Meredith. It was chaos, part comedy, part drama, part football, and people loved it. Ratings skyrocketed. Cosell's commentary turned football games into full-on national events. Love him or hate him, you couldn't ignore him. And then came the night that changed everything. September 5th, 1983, season opener. Millions watching as the Washington Redskins faced the Dallas Cowboys. Washington wide receiver Alvin Garrett caught a pass and sprinted down the field. And Cosell, live on national television, said, "That little monkey gets loose, doesn't he?" 6 words, that was it. The reaction was instant. Phone lines lit up, headlines exploded, and suddenly the man who had defended black athletes for decades was being accused of racism. Civil rights leaders called for apologies, newspapers tore him apart. Cosell tried to explain. He said he'd used that phrase for years to describe small, quick athletes of every race. He even had tapes proving it. He said he called his own grandchildren little monkeys, but none of it mattered. The country was changing, the conversation around race was sharper than ever, and context wasn't enough to save him. ABC stood by him at first, reminding people of his history, how he defended Ali, how he supported black athletes when nobody else would. But the backlash didn't stop. By the end of the season, Cosell had walked away from Monday Night Football. He wasn't technically fired, but the result was the same. His era at the top was over. Some defended him, Jesse Jackson, Ali, even Alvin Garrett himself, who said he wasn't offended. But the damage had been done. Cosell shifted to other shows, wrote a tell-all book, and kept fighting with the industry until it finally left him behind. Then, after his wife passed away in 1990, his health collapsed. Cancer, Parkinson's, strokes, it all piled on. When he died in 1995, the man who once dominated American sports broadcasting was already a faint echo. So here's the question. Was Howard Cosell unfairly taken down by a misunderstood comment, or did his razor-sharp mouth finally go one step too far? Whatever side you fall on, one thing's undeniable. He changed sports broadcasting forever. He turned the booth into a stage, gave athletes a platform, and forced America to confront uncomfortable truths through conversation, not violence. What do you think, Noodles? Was Cosell a pioneer who got a raw deal, or a loudmouth who crossed the line? Let me know in the comments. And if you love true stories that die behind the spotlight, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss what's next.